today I'm going to take you behind the scenes on a really fun shoot that I shot with a guy named Jackie and his awesome GT3 RS. We're going to talk about gear, what camera I used, what lenses I used, what filters I used, and this video is sponsored by K&F, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the filters that I used a little bit later in the video. So let's get into the video. I'll share with you guys some tips, tricks, and things that make shooting more effective and fun. So to start, let's talk about gear, because that's what everybody wants to know, what camera you're shooting on. And to be honest, I think that gear matters less and less and less these days. So if you are someone who doesn't have a full frame camera, or you maybe still have an old point and shoot that your aunt gave you or something, or maybe you just have your iPhone, stay watching, because these tips are more about composition and lighting and a little bit about settings. But if you're on your iPhone, don't worry about it. I was using the Lumix S1 Mark II, which technically is a more video heavy camera, but it still shoots incredible photos. I was using the 24 to 60 millimeter lens with a 2.8 aperture. I like that lens because I really like the focal lengths of 35 millimeters and 50 mil, and 60 also kind of pushes you a little bit farther into that compression range as well. It's a great lightweight lens that gives me a lot of diversity while I'm out shooting. And because the S1 II handles low light really well, I didn't really need to go with those prime lenses. I've oddly been enjoying the versatility of those zoom lenses kind of more than my primes, and I used to just be like a prime shooter only. Again, you'll see how I was using this lens in just a second. When it comes to settings, I'm actually going to do a bit of a voiceover while I'm shooting so that I can walk you guys through what's going through my head while I'm shooting these car photos. I'm gonna walk you through the whole car and why I'm shooting the shots I was shooting, the settings that I was using, if I was shooting with the correct settings or the wrong settings, and which ones maybe you should use. But as a car photographer, a no-brainer that you guys need is a CPL filter. If you guys are wanting to shoot cars, you no-brainer need to get a CPL filter. This is how you cut reflections off of windshields and off of the sides of cars. Cars are essentially big mirrors. So a CPL filter is what you need to help your photos stand out, or at least hit industry standard and look more professional. So without further ado, let's go out. I'm gonna walk you guys through this shoot with Jackie and his GT3 RS. We had beautiful weather, and honestly, it was one of those nights that it was just nice to get out for a drive. So come hang out and I'll walk you guys through, and we'll teach you as much as I can through the process. So the first thing I tend to do when I get out is I set my settings. And as you can see on the left side here, I've got an aperture of 2.8. I always set my ISO as low as I can to start, and then set my shutter speed to get proper exposure. Now I am using an ND filter slash CPL filter with just a 1 down stop, and I still had plenty of light, so I was able to adjust that. As you can see, cutting reflections off the windshield. And this shot, I always really love getting one of these shots, the top down of the headlight. This is when the shoot really started to come together. I had to adjust my exposure a little bit, and I actually just used the ND filter on the front to adjust exposure. But the light behind was giving me a bit of a different exposure. But this is when I started to get really amped on the shot, because you can see that this car is just beautiful. The car owner, Jackie, this is actually the last day that he has with his car, so he wanted to get a few shots of himself. So I coached him through a few of my favorite stances once I had found a shot I really like, and then we placed him in the shot. So that's one way that I love to get portraits of people in cars, is I frame up the car really beautifully, and then I put the people in the car shot. Then after that, we went around and I just got as many detail shots as I could in this particular location. As you can see, this car is just gorgeous. As you can see, we're just trying to catch the light just before it tucked behind the mountain, but we didn't quite catch it. But we got really nice soft light for this shoot here, and it was really beautiful. So here's just a few of my favorite kind of quarter shots of the car. So for the next location, I was hoping to use a bit of compression on the lenses to pull those mountains back. We have a nice, really straight linear road, and I was hoping to get as much of those mountains in the background to come as close as possible. So you use what's called compression. So you usually use a bit of a longer focal length, and you'll see I change my lenses in just a second to help with that. You can see I'm adjusting my ND filter and my CPL filter there to make sure I'm cutting reflections off the windshield. I tend to find that cutting reflections off the windshield is the most flattering look. Sometimes I meet in the middle with, you can see here on the left side of the windshield is not cut off, but I'm cutting a bit more reflections off the side of the car as well. Here you can see I'm being lazy, unfortunately, because my car was parked a little bit. It was restricting some of the ways that I could shoot. So don't be lazy like me, just learn from my mistakes and don't do that. This location was a little darker than the last one, so I did up my ISO to 200, and I had a bit of a lower shutter speed, but because I'm staying steady and still, it doesn't really matter. I'm still getting really crispy shots. So now I'm going to switch lenses to my 28 to 200. This is essentially a kit lens from Lumix, but it's super powerful. It has a variable aperture. I had to switch to a different CPL filter, but what you can see here is I'm trying to get as much of that compression from the mountains behind, and so I'm going to use a much farther focal length to bring those mountains close to the car. But you're going to see I have to move quite a ways back in order to do that. And I still wasn't super happy with how this shot turned out. The edit kind of made it look better, but when we ended up turning the car, which you'll see in a little bit here, I didn't actually like the way that the car was sitting on the road. So here you can see I'm using tons of compression to try and pull that background forward. I didn't end up loving the shot, and again, I was being a bit lazy here, not getting my car out of the way, so don't do what I'm doing. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say a huge shout out to K&F for sponsoring today's video. They can provide you guys with all kinds of tools, but they sent me their VND plus CPL filter combo, which as a hybrid shooter that shoots cars, this is absolutely a no-brainer for me, as I will need to cut the reflections off cars and be able to control my shutter speed for video. So the CPL plus the VND filter does that beautifully. Now this other one that they sent me was super cool, and I was actually really excited about this. I've used CPLs plus VNDs before, but I've never used a CPL VND with a mist already built in, and it's really great to use. I love that subtle mist filter that you can put on cars. It's great when you're shooting at sunset. You can see it's kind of adding a little haze to everything that has a bit of light to it. So on the tail lights, it looks really good. On the headlights, it looks great, and it's not too overpowering. And in fact, we're using it right now. And you can see that it's not kind of overdoing the bloom effect, but it's really nice, subtle effect, kind of give you a bit of a dreamy look. So if you're looking for that kind of dreamy look in your photos or videos, highly recommend looking into the K&F CPL VND mist filter package. Thank you to K&F for sponsoring today's video and this channel, and I love the filters. They're a lot of fun to use. So check them out. I will leave a link for you guys down in the description below, and of course it helps me out if you use that link. So we drove to this final spot, and this is where I got really amped because I could see that the light was hitting perfectly. I wanted to get Jackie's car positioned as quickly as I could so we could utilize the light just kissing the top of the mountain there. So this was going to be perfect for that K&F filter. I wanted to get that misty glow off the top of the mountain. So this is where I switched over to that filter, and as you will see very shortly, it looks incredible, and I was just getting really amped on these shots. I don't know if you guys experience this, but when you start shooting with a client or with a car, it takes a little bit to get warmed up, and I always am like waiting for that shot where I'm like, this was worth it, or the client's going to be happy. This is when I knew that the night was all worth it and that these shots were going to be bangers. Super happy. So as you can see, I'm twisting the CPL, making sure I'm using the minimum amount of VND for this. Again, if I just had the CPL with a mist, I would do that, but I was trying to test out these filters. I was using both photo and video, so trying to move as quick as I can as a solo shooter. But as you can see, the sun was just kissing the top beautifully, and we were trying to utilize that. So I was exposing as best as I could to keep the highlights in and the low lights in. I know that these cameras can handle a ton of low light retention, so use the exposure meter on your camera. Make sure that you're getting the most dynamic range. You can see on the actual camera itself, it's really dark on the car, but I know I can get those details back in post-production, so make sure you're always shooting in RAW. Let me know if you guys want to see some of these photos as like phone wallpapers. I was kind of shooting some of these intentionally. I've been using them as my own phone wallpapers actually, and they look amazing. So if you guys want to get some of those, let me know in the comments, and I'll maybe put some in my store. We also were taking advantage of the incredible light, got some great shots of Jackie as his farewell to his GT3 RS, and then of course I needed to get some photos of myself in front of the car as well. Once I took a bunch of shots in that location, we moved the car so I could do a bit more of a landscape shot with this car. I was really happy with the shots that I got of the rear, and now I just wanted to get a few more of the front quarter panels. Again, I'm trying to bring some of those mountain details in, but really the car just looked super sharp here, and I wanted to go with a really clean edit. I also was realizing this would be a great opportunity for a great portrait for Jackie for maybe a computer. You can see the shot on the left here, super clean. And then I asked Jackie, hey, I want to get you in the back left corner there so we can get a great photo of him saying kind of farewell to his car. And as you can see, I'm trying to pose him appropriately using the rule of thirds, keeping him on the left line and the car on the right line in the bottom right corner. So just trying to use good composition tools there, and I was pretty stoked on how it went. In this particular set of photos, I was starting to see really how the CPL was affecting the sky. So just be really mindful when you're using the CPL. Yes, you want to cut reflections off the car, but it's also going to make a really big difference in what the sky looks like. So just kind of find that middle ground of what works best for you. And finally, I wanted to get a few more shots of the rear end of the car, and you can see what I realized here is when he put his foot on the brake, it really illuminated those rear tail lights, and with that mist filter, it was looking really good, and it just helps kind of draw more attention to the back end of the car. So if you have the opportunity, ask the owner to keep his foot on the brake, or if you've seen in some of my previous videos, when I'm shooting solo, I actually bring a tripod, and you can put the tripod on the brake against the seat, and then you can have the tail lights illuminated, and it looks so good in these photos. You can see the effect that mist filter is giving. It looks really good. I'm really thrilled with the photos. We did hit a couple of locations on the way home. We had an absolute blast, both of us just shooting this car and enjoying the drive together. But yeah, I'm super stoked on how these photos turned out. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would have seen this post, but I talked about the rules of car photography and when to listen to them and when to break them, because guys like me on the internet will tell you how to shoot or how I shoot, but at the end of the day, you can break these rules. You don't have to listen to me. You don't have to listen to the internet. You can go and shoot the style that you want. So you can check me out on Instagram because that was a great post. If you guys want to know how I edited these, I do have presets available for you down below. They're super fun to use, and they're not your standard baked presets. They're actually really cool, and you can stack different layers of presets on top of each other. So if you don't like the way that I've built my presets, you can literally just change them. It's super fun, intuitive, and easy to use. And so go check those out. I'll link those down below as well. If you guys want me to create a editing video for this, let me know, put it in the comments, and I'll create an editing video for you guys as well. Before we end the video, a quick little update for you guys. My life has been absolutely nuts, and I'm going to be making a life update video coming soon. So for those of you who have been around the channel for a while, things are changing around here big time. So stick around for next video, because I'm going to be telling you guys a little bit about what's been going on in my life. Big changes. I hope you guys learned something from this. If you did, give it a like, comment down below. Consider subscribing to the channel, because I love making videos like this for you guys, and I really do hope I'll see you in the next video. Peace.